Welcome to the Ravens Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Ravens Space Mailbag, where we answer your questions about the Baltimore Ravens. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please subscribe to the Ravens Space on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed. We always have great Baltimore Ravens content. Also, please check out our Patreon page, and a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers, because without you guys, none of this could happen. We're going to hop into our first question, and our first question comes from Joseph, and Joseph asks, which young player will have the most potential in the years to come for the Baltimore Ravens? Thank you so much for your question, Joseph. I think it's a good question, and it's going to be hard to predict the future, but if I had to say who had the most potential, the answer would be Tim Williams, who the Ravens drafted this year from Alabama. And it's a combination of the position he plays and talent, the raw talent that he has. He plays a position that can be very impactful for the Baltimore Ravens. At pass rusher, that outside linebacker position, if you're great at that position, you have the potential to affect the play on every single passing down. You see Terrell Suggs, when he was in his prime, had that ability. And again, when you make quarterbacks do things quickly, you cause mistakes, quarterbacks can get to the deep play. In our division, when you have Ben Roethlisberger, where the longer he holds the ball, the more dangerous he is, you need a pass rusher to get the ball out of his hands quickly. And Tim Williams has that ability more so than Tyus Bowser and Matt Judon. And so I do think he has the most potential to be a great player, and specifically a great pass rusher in the future. And if he can do that, and we still have CJ Mosley, Brandon Williams, and all those other pieces, you know, Jimmy Smith, we can be a great defense, because he will add the only dimension right now that I think the Ravens are missing, which is a consistent pass rush. Again, Terrell Suggs, he gets tired out later in the season. Matt Judon hasn't really been a consistent force yet. Tyus Bowser, of course, is a rookie. We don't know what he's going to do. So again, if he can become a great pass rusher, he will complete the Ravens defense in a way that they can become a very elite team. Again, in pass rush, you see in all the great defenses, is something that they all have. So if he can do that, he has the most potential for the Baltimore Ravens to be a great pass rusher. Thank you so much for your question, Joseph, and we'll right on to the next one. And this next one comes from Curtis, and Curtis asks, last season the offense was out of tune in the first half of the season, and the defense fell apart in the final quarter of the year. So how can both sides of the ball click at the same time in 2017? Thank you so much, Curtis. So the answer for defense is easy. If you guys want us to be better on defense, we only need injuries not to plague us. You got to remember, the fall apart at the end of the year was directly affected by Jimmy Smith going down. When Jimmy Smith went down, the whole defense kind of unraveled. And what happens is Jimmy Smith goes down, so you have to put in a lesser cornerback like a Sharice Wright, who right now is struggling to make a team. And now teams can pick on Sharice. So then you have to take Tavon Young and put him at that one spot. But, you know, receivers and things can move. And so they still find Sharice, which means Eric Weddle or Zadarius Webb now need to cheat a little bit, which opens up the defense. And you saw that the big pass plays happened down the middle when you had safety helping a Sharice or one-on-one with Sharice. And, you know, if that's going to happen, it just won't work. But if Jimmy stays healthy and Brandon Carr just plays good, then the defense will be improved and we won't unravel like we did toward the end of the season. And that's what injuries does to a team. For offense, it's plain and simple, is that we need to establish an identity and stick to the identity. And again, when I say identity, I don't mean run 90% of the time or pass 90% of the time. But, you know, if you like to run the ball, and then your passes must be play actions off of those. If you want to pass the ball, but also be able to run in select situations in order to get those 3-yard gains that you really need. And so when the offense finds an identity and a play caller that's confident, you'll see our offense, you know, rise to the occasion. And two great examples of our offense being confident, having an identity, was under Gary Kubiak, when we were a zone run, play action type of team, and then even under Jim Caldwell, where we ran the ball some, but we really did also pass the ball a lot. And those were when the offense was the best, in my opinion. So that's what we need to do. I think the Ravens are trying to do that with Marty Mornhinweg, who does have a strong personality and a strong offensive scheme. So you know it's a Marty Mornhinweg offense. but hopefully it just clicks and works in 2017. So thank you so much for your question, Curtis. And we'll move on to the next question. And this question comes from Marcus, and Marcus asks, is Zadarius Smith in danger of losing his roster spot? He didn't have a great sophomore season, and he's sort of a one-trick pony. Marcus, is a great question, and the answer is yes. Zadarius Smith is in danger of losing his roster spot. And it's just because the Ravens have so much youth and talent at that pass rusher position. Zadarius Smith had a great first season. I thought he showed some great flashes, but last season he happened to get lost in the dust. And like you said in the email, that Zadarius Smith can sometimes be a one-trick pony with his power bull rush move, and he doesn't have the skill to get around stronger offensive linemen, and that's not good, especially as a pass rusher, where finesse moves are just as important, maybe even more important than your power move. And so we're going to see how Tyus Bowser plays and how Tim Williams plays, and if Zadarius Smith can't beat them out, I don't think he can beat Matthew Judon, and I just think that he'll be lost in the dust. It'd be hard for me to not see Ozzie Newsome take another pass rusher in the next draft as well. You can never have enough pass rushers. You can never have enough cornerbacks. So I do think that Zadarius Smith is on the way out of Baltimore, and which is a sad thing, and it sucks, but he's just not been playing up to the standard of a Baltimore Raven, especially a Baltimore Raven linebacker. So he will have to be dismissed from the team. Thank you so much for your question, Marcus. Again, not good for Zadarius, but I do think that he's in danger of being pushed off the team. And then the last question comes from Justin, and Justin asks, where does the Ravens defense rank with the rest of the NFL? Thank you so much for your question, Justin. And to me, right now, the Ravens are going to be a top 3 defense in the NFL. There are some contenders that you have. So you always have the Patriots, who are going to put a great defense out there. You have the Texans, who got worse because they lost AJ Boye, their corner. And then you have the Seahawks, which is always going to be a great defense as long as they keep that nucleus that they have. And now with Tavon Young going down, the defense did take a hit. But of course, Ozzie was correct, and he brought in players that can play that position, in my opinion. So I do think the Ravens have a chance to be a top 4 or top 3 defense. They're going to be very, very good. The only real threats I see to them and being in front of them is the Patriots. I also see that the Seahawks can be a real challenge. And the Kansas City Chiefs, though their defense is a little underrated, just like their team is, they have some great players over that side, led by Eric Berry, who, again, can make plays and put you in harm's way. So Justin, just to answer your question, in my head, the Ravens are going to be a top 4 defense. And if there aren't a top 4 or top 5 defense, they underachieve. The issue is that if someone gets injured at a position like a Brandon Williams, then the Ravens drop down to a middle of the pack defense for me. And the Ravens have been like that for a while, but if they can stay healthy and everyone plays, how we expect them to play, I think they can be a top 5 defense very easily. So thank you so much for your question, Justin. And that is the end of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. Please send in your questions to TheRavensSpace@gmail.com. Also, I want to say thank you guys for being Patreon members. For the people who are, we appreciate you. You guys get great prizes, and we're happy to give you those things. Please subscribe to The Ravens Space on YouTube. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.